Good evening, everyone. This is Professor Chisholm, and this is week 7. Okay, so we are now moving into InDesign. And again, this is just going to be basic stuff, and you guys, it's going to be an easy week in terms of the videos you have to do. However, we're going to go back to your Photoshop project of your animal. So, so the first couple of videos are just going to give you a basic overview of InDesign. Again, same sort of, you're going to go, hey, wait a second, this looks a lot like Illustrator and Photoshop. Yes, you're right. It has the panels. You're going to see a lot of the tools. Now, this is a vector program. Okay, so this is like Illustrator. So this is a vector program because it'll have fill and a stroke. So it's not going to be pixel based, it's vector based. And that's what you want to do for layout, for print and stuff. You want to use a vector program. So, I was brought up that you do Photoshop, you manipulate it, but when you do the final putting it together, you get all the assets together, but then you put it together in either Illustrator or InDesign. That's what I was brought up to do. So the biggest challenge for this week is going to be your, so you got 5 videos. So you've got this discussion board, but then you have an Illustrator assignment also. And this is going to make sense by the end of the course. So then, of course, you have your discussion forum. So you're going to take your mythological creature that you put together that technically was supposed to be image-based. I know it's confusing when it says illustration, but, and yes, people illustrate with Photoshop, but really what we were supposed to do, we were supposed to manipulate, essentially do an animal morph, right? We're morphing an animal we're taking parts of animals and making a new creature. That's what we're trying to do. Because the challenge is then what we're going to do is we're going to actually, you're going to illustrate it using the Illustrator tools. Now, I showed you in my video for week 5 how I approach like doing a simple logo. I know, and it's just all flat colors. Now, this is going to be a lot more challenging because you then have to figure out how you're going to break this animal down into shapes, okay? Remember, everything at the core is a shape, and you just have to figure this out. Now, you're going to have to, depending on how much detail you want to do, that's entirely up to you, is what you want to do. But I want to go ahead and show you what we can do here. All right, so let me show you what I'm going to do here. All right, so again, you have your typical question and answer. You can put your question and answer in here, but this is going to take some time, guys. And I'm going to go ahead and show you. So I created a new image. I went ahead and opened up Illustrator. I have Illustrator open, but now I need to go place my new image in here, which I put it under pictures, and it's a squirrel. So it's a squirrel. So I'm placing my horse squirrel. Okay. Now, I still have a little bit of adjustments. I really need to change the fur a little bit, but I'm okay with this. It took a while to get this, but essentially it's a squirrel and sort of a donkey put together, all right? Only because this fur, the donkey sort of matched up better with the sort of the fur, how the coarse fur of a squirrel is, okay? Now, my challenge now is to get this drawn out. So this is just a JPEG that I created. Now, I noticed that my artboard, is it going to drive me up the wall? Probably. So let me take my artboard so it fits my image. All right. So what I'm going to do is, I have to keep an eye on the time here also. All right. All right, so what I'm going to do is open up my layers panel. Again, same thing. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create another layer, just like we did last time. So I have layer 2. This one has the squirrel on it, right? I'm going to, I can right click on it. I thought there was a way to do this. Okay, so I'm going to click here and go, I'm using this little drop down menu here. Let me select layer 1. and let me get this. I want to make this a template. Okay, so now it's a template and it's locked, and now I'm working off of layer 2. Now, how do I draw this image? I always draw from the outside in, guys, okay? So I will go ahead and draw, I will draw the body. I'll outline this whole body of this squirrel. Now again, this is an illustration. So this is sort of it can be photo, if you want to get photorealistic with your illustration, that's entirely up to you. But you have to now break this. Let me take this lock off. Let me take this template off for a second just so that we can view it. What we need to do is, so how am I going to get this fur? How am I going to illustrate this fur? Good question. I don't know. I'm challenging myself here. But I could do flat and then maybe see if I could add a texture in there. But I have some shapes of colors. So I have some white areas. I've got the mane, that's a separate color, and the head is a separate color. And so I need to then just sort of break this down based on color. Now, for those of you, you may have, now I could generalize here and see how this fur is darker. So I could sort of draw a patch here with lighter, and then this is also lighter. I could draw out shapes of lightness and sort of piece it together to see how it looks, okay? So let me go ahead and go back and make that a template, and let's see what we can do. So what I would recommend is that this is practice, and at the end of the day, guys, you're going to have to figure out what's going to work for you. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to outline the head. And again, remember I told you, of course, I got a fill on there. Let's flip it. Now I'm coming back. I'm clicking and holding. And it's a representation, guys. It's not going to be perfect. And I'm going to go beyond here. I'm going to go up to here. And this looks like it's a little bit of an eye area. So it comes out. Oh. Control Z. Let me reattach. What are you doing here? This pen tool is not working. I'm coming up to the eye, clicking. Do I not have it on the right tool? No. Because I'm working on, who knows what I'm working on, curvature tool. No wonder I was going, what the heck is going on here? Let me try the pen tool. How about that? And again, it's an approximation, guys, to the best of your ability. Click, drag, hold, remember. Click here. I'm coming around the eye because there seems to be an eye here, and that's not the way it is. That comes out because the eye comes out, comes up. And again, approximation, guys. I'm gonna, for the sake of, to show you, I'm gonna just work on a little bit of area here, and then you guys can go from there, okay? So even though his ears got a little more definition than that. So you're gonna have to, I guess I'm going over the head. All right, that's all right. I'm gonna just do the head without the mane. Now normally I would do the whole body, but I'm going to just do the head right now just so I can show you. And you're going to have to, I don't know, something's going on there. So and look at this as just practice here. Okay, so there's the outline of the shape of the head. Now, I do have, you know, and I would put in here head. This is the head outline. Just so I can keep track of it, right? Then I'd do another layer, and I'd probably do this white area here, because I have all of this is white. So I'd go ahead and sort of draw out this shape. And again, for the sake of, I'm just doing straight lines right now because it's just easier. And yes, you're going to probably redraw the same things multiple times to overlap, okay? And you're going to have to tweak things. But that's how I always draw the outline of something in addition to, just so that I have another layer behind everything. And then we come up here. So there's the face, and this is going to use the eyedropper tool. And I can use it's going to be a flat color. Now, there's the flat color for this. So if I hide that, you know, there's that. But in reality, there's also the nostrils, right? So we're going to have to, I've got to click this and make this, flip it. Okay, so because I've got to draw the nostrils, right? So I got to make another layer. It's layers, guys, tons of layers here. So I've got to draw an opening for the nostril, and that's a dark shape right there. So we're going to come down, and you got to just break out the colors. And it's, you know, just, you can go really hog wild and go, you know, all these extra colors. So that's the nostril. You just have to make sure that you know which layer things are. So there's the nostril. And technically I've got to do the mouth. So you got to just start breaking out the shapes and start drawing them. So you're going to have to draw the details. So I would have to draw the eye, I'd have to draw the harness, and then I would start drawing the rest of the animal. And of course I'm showing you, you know, white on white here. So let's take a look at that for a second. Flip that color. So there's the nose. So there's the nose. And it could be all flat right now. Now, you can, you know, you'd have to play with it to try and get that hair texture. But even if you can get a flat representation of it, that'd be a step in the right direction. But what I would say is do the best you can to try to draw this to the best of your ability, okay? So even if you can get the outline and practice with that tool and get the basic shapes in, that would be definitely a step in the right direction. What I'll do is I will make another video for you. It'll have to be tomorrow, and I will show you like how we could go about making fur, you know, how we could illustrate fur. And how I could like maybe, you know, achieve some of this, you know, make it, but I don't know if I'm going to go completely photorealistic, but I would definitely get the base color in and then see what you want to do after that, but getting the details in. So I still have to do the harness. I've got to do the little clasps here. I've got to do the mane would be a separate layer. There looks like some red. I'd put the tail would be a separate layer. So unfortunately, I'm limited to 15 minutes per video. Okay. But I'll do a couple more videos for you guys so that you can see it. So this is the big project here, guys, and it's going to take some time. Just have patience. Patience pays at the end of the day. Yes, you're new to this, but just don't beat yourself up. Just give it the best bet that you can do and see, you know, play with it. Okay. All right, guys. That's pretty much sums it up for the week. Just do the best you can. All right. I will, if you need help, please reach out to me. All right. All right. Talk to you soon. Bye.